name is Addie. Thank you for joining me for this yin practice here in colorful Colorado. Colorado Springs behind me, and in your view is Pikes Peak. This practice designed to be grounding because I can't think of a better place to be grounded than right here in Colorado, among the trees in the Black Forest and at the foot of Pikes Peak. So let's begin our practice in child's pose. That pose that represents the place where we began. Bringing the toes together, the hips to the heels, knees apart, extending the arms. Bring the forehead to the mat. Begin to notice the breath. Inhales and exhales through the nose. Allowing the inhales to deepen and the exhales to extend. In this child's pose that reflects that primary curve of the spine and the place where we started our animation. Allowing the inhales to deepen and the exhales to extend. In this pose, feeling loved, feeling cared for, feeling safe. Moving into an extended exhale, perhaps counting to 4 on the inhales and to 6 on the exhales, making them a little longer, a little more calming and grounding. Maybe you extend those exhales intuitively. That is up to you because this is your practice. Anything I say or do is merely a suggestion. Always listen to your body and take what works for you. In the yin practice, there are 3 tattvas or principles. The first is to go into each pose at an appropriate depth. That means finding your edge, the place that's just right for you. And then we commit to stillness, because it is in the stillness that the magic happens. The practice moves into our joints and our bones and our ligaments. And finally, we hold the poses for time, allowing the breath to do the work, creating space in those plastic tissues that I mentioned. As you breathe, bringing abundance to mind. Abundance in a yin practice means we have enough. We are enough. We've done enough. We are beautiful enough. We know enough. Inhale, swelling the back body and the rib cage with air. And exhale to melt the heart just a little closer to the mat. Press into the mat with the left palm. Inhale, raise the right palm overhead. And on the exhale, draw the right arm under the left, melt the right shoulder and the right ear to the mat, threading the needle. Take any little micro adjustments you need to allow your body to melt into this pose. Inhale, I am. Exhale, enough. Press in with the left palm and inhale to unwind. Right hand drifts to the sky. Exhale, bring the right palm down to the earth. Inhale, left palm high. And then exhale to thread the left palm under the right, bringing the right shoulder and the right ear to the mat, or left shoulder and left ear to the mat. Excuse me. And extend the right arm long. Send the breath to the shoulder girdle and the upper back. Inhaling, I have. Exhaling, enough. Inhale to press in with the left arm, or excuse me, press in with the right arm. And lift the left arm high. And exhale, bring that left palm down. And let's walk the hands back towards the knees. Draw the knees together. And we're going to turn the toes under. Go slowly and gently, maybe reaching back to tuck in the pinky toes. Bringing your hips back towards your heels. And this is an intense pose. We'll only be holding it about a minute. It's called broken toes. Some adjustments you can make is leaning forward, bringing the palms down if that is too intense. If you crave more intensity, you can always reach back. You can pull the knees up, maybe even balance with the palms at heart center. But remember, whatever you choose, let it be enough. Settling into stillness. Couple more breaths. And go ahead and bring the palms to the mat, coming to all fours. Turn the tops of the toes to the mat and tap them out to release the tension. Bringing them to stillness. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Inhale to drop the belly, shine the heart. Exhale, round the spine, push the earth away. Let's take a couple more cows and cats following the rhythm of your breath. Inhaling to cow pose, exhaling to cat pose. Bringing that tabletop to stillness. Let's turn the toes under once again, but this time send the hips to the sky. Downward facing dog. Finding movement here. Pedaling the feet, bending the knees, wiggling and stretching. Send the weight of the front of the body to that fleshy part of the hands between the thumb and the forefinger. And press in with the fingertips. Let's begin to bring our dog to stillness. Heels seek the earth. They may not find it. Biceps by the ears. Inhale the hips a little higher. And exhale the belly button to the backbone. Feel the shoulder blades slide towards the rib cage. Bend the knees and exhale to walk the hands towards the center, or the feet towards the center of the mat. Step those feet out wider than the hips. Bend into the knees, fold forward, finding a dangle, rooting in through the heels, sending the hips high, and feeling gravity pulling on the crown of the head. Inhaling, feeling space between each vertebra, and exhaling, allowing that crown to drift a little lower, and moving into the space you've created in your spine. Maybe you catch opposite elbows. You can find stillness, or you can wave in the wind. opposite elbows. Go ahead and release them to the earth. Root into the heels and inhale to ragdoll rise more slowly than you want to. Stacking vertebra upon vertebra. Roll the shoulders back and down when they arrive. Shine the heart. Head arrives last. Inhale, grow the crown of the head towards the sky. And exhale to send roots into the earth from the soles of the feet and from the fingertips. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. And exhale, drawing the hands to heart center. Turn the heels in, toes out. Bend into the knees, dropping the hips. For Muladhara pose. Yogi squat again. Finding this pose at your appropriate depth. Maybe you have a block or a pillow and you'd like to bring the hips down to that and allow them to rest. And if this pose is incredibly uncomfortable for you and it's just not a happy place, go ahead and drop the hips all the way to the earth. Bring the soles of the feet together and find a butterfly pose. Melting back into the breath. Allow those palms to drift back to the mat. Pressing in, we'll straighten the heels, bend into the knees, folding forward, moving back into the Release the elbows if you have them. Bring the palms down to the mat. Inhale to ragdoll rise once again. Roll the shoulders, allow the head to arrive last. Gravity takes the fingers. Inhale, drawing the arms overhead. Clasp the fingers, release the index. Inhale, reach to the sky. Exhale to lean to the right, maybe pulling gently on the left wrist. Inhale to rise. Exhale, lean to the left. Inhale to rise. Exhale, palms together, drawing the hands to heart center. Heels in, toes out. Bend into the knees, finding that Muladhara pose once again. And of course, butterfly is an option for you. Inhaling, abundance flows. Exhale through me. Allowing the hands to find the mat, one in front, one in back. Hips to the earth, soles of feet together for a butterfly pose. And of course, if you're already in the butterfly pose, just take a moment to make any little adjustments you need and remain there. Inhaling the crown of the head tall. And exhaling, rolling the shoulders down the back body. Rooting in through the hips and the knife edges of the feet. Maybe the knees come to a block on each side. That can feel good if you've got blocks in. Inhale, growing the crown of the head a little taller. And exhale to crawl the hands forward, keeping a flat back, folding forward in this butterfly pose. Keeping the back straight spine from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Imagining that you could inhale through the tailbone and the breath travels up the spine, exhaling through the crown of the head. One more breath here, and then when you're ready, allow the shoulders to round and the head to drop, finding a little more depth in your pose. Pressing into the palms, walking them back. Take your time and bring yourself upright. Allow the hands to slide under the knees, closing them like a book. Soles of feet to the earth, knees to the sky. Palms behind the hips, fingers forward. Step those feet out a little wider than the hips and begin to find a windshield wiper motion, allowing the knees to fall to the left and to the right, following the rhythm of your breath. Allow the knees to find stillness at the top. Drop down to the forearms and resume that windshield wiper motion again. Notice how the sensation traveled up the back body just a bit. Still following the rhythm of your breath, moving as slowly as you want to. Maybe even you drop the head back if it's okay with your neck. And the knees return to center. Allow the back body to find the mat. The soles of feet are still on the mat. Knees to the sky. Maybe allow them to fall to the left and the right a couple more times. Maybe the arms splay out wide like the letter T. And we'll bring the knees back to center, heel toeing those feet into hip width. Draw the knees into the chest, walk the hips away from the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears. Take both hands, wrapping them around the right leg, and extend the left leg long, finding a baby cradle. Flex the left foot, reaching that sole away from the hip. Maybe you leave the right thigh hugged into the belly. Maybe you draw it out around the rib cage just a bit. You can continue to hold with both hands, or if you've drawn the knee out around the rib cage, you can let that left hand fall to a half T and just hold with the right hand. Allow that right knee to drift back to center if it's outside of the rib cage. Bring the left hand across to catch that right knee and bring it down to the earth on the left side, stacking the hips. Finding a spinal twist, extending the arms to a T. Let that gaze drift however feels best to you. Maybe it stays to center, maybe it floats to the right. Inhale draws the gaze to center if it's not. And an exhale allows that left hand to help the right leg back to center. Draw the left knee in to meet it. Wrap both arms around the thighs or the shins. Rocking side to side, leveling the spine. Both hands wrap around the left leg and extend the right leg. Send it to the mat, flexing the foot, drawing the sole of the foot away from the hip. Staying right here if you wish, or drawing that left knee to the outside of the rib cage, holding it with the left hand and allowing the right hand to drift out to a half letter T. The right hand comes up to meet the left leg, drawing it to the center of the body, if it's not, and then bring it all the way to the right, towards the earth, coming up on the right hip. Extend the arms to a T, finding a spinal twist. Let that head drift, however feels best to you. Allow the right hand to drift under that left leg, bringing it back to center. And let's draw both knees back up to the chest one more time. Walk the hips away from the shoulders, shoulders away from the ears, finding a little side-to-side movement, leveling the hips and the spine. When you feel all settled, begin to make your way into your final Shavasana, that most important pose of rest that allows the benefits of the practice to soak into the body, the mind, and the heart. Extend those legs long. Extend the arms wide. Close the eyes. Feeling supported by the earth. Bringing your awareness to the pull of gravity on the points of the body that contact with the mats. In fact, start down at the heels and bring your awareness to the heels, feeling them get heavier. Continue to scan the body, moving upwards, noticing the places of contact, and allowing them to sink into the earth just a little deeper. Perhaps as you breathe, the thumb and the ring finger of each hand drift together, finding the Prithvi Mudra. Thumb and ring finger together, other fingers outstretched. Continue to enjoy your final Shavasana if you wish. When you are ready to awaken, begin by wiggling fingers and toes. Circle the ankles, circle the wrists. Inhale to draw the arms overhead, finding a good morning stretch, moving those fingertips away from the soles of the feet. Exhale and melt back into the mat, as if it's not quite time to get up yet. Inhale to grow fingertips away from the soles of the feet. Exhale to roll the body to the right side, using the bicep as a pillow. Draw the knees towards the chest. Show gratitude to yourself for taking the time to do something just for you. And when you're ready, press into the left palm and then the right, and bring yourself to an upright, seated position. Ending class with a quote: "It's not what we have, but what we enjoy that constitutes abundance." And I thank you so much for joining me for this practice, for sharing your love and light. It's been my honor. Until next time.